everybody. I hope that you're all doing well. Welcome to today's video. As you can tell, we're doing another What I've Been Watching video in this series that I have going. I thought that I would do one like once a month, but I'm feeling like once every 2 months is probably best. One, so I don't like bombard you with the same type of video over and over again, and two, so that my list could be longer. So yeah, my last one was in January, so here we are, end of March, with another one. So before we get started, I have my drink right here. I wanted to show you 2 jewelry pieces that have been added to my collection thanks to Happiness Boutique. I've been showing you my stuff from them for years, whether you are aware or not. I wear their stuff a lot, and I know a lot of you are usually interested in what accessories I'm wearing, so I thought that I would give them a little shout out before we get started. The first ones I'm actually wearing. Let me see if I can zoom you in a little bit, getting nice up close and personal here. So they are just little tiny gold hoops, but they are thick, like thick. They're a little not too thick for me, but they are thicker than I am used to wearing. It's very close up to my face, yikes. Yeah, they're a little thicker than I'm used to wearing, but I like them. They're very like sophisticated, I feel like. I don't know. I like them, and I've been getting into gold recently, in case you couldn't tell. So those are the first ones, and then the second ones, I always have a really hard time opening these boxes, so stay with me. There we go. Okay. Alright. These are the second ones. They are also gold, little tiny gold hoops with these little circles or round things on the bottom, and they're a nice size. They're about the size of these little tiny gold hoops. I wore these all weekend, this past weekend, and I love them, and I got compliments on them. So I don't know if you're interested in either of the 2 that I'm wearing. I'll leave the link down in the description, as well as the website to Happiness Boutique, so that you guys can look for yourself. I freaking love Happiness Boutique, so thank you to Happiness Boutique for sending me those. And yeah, the links will be down below. So okay, my ice is melting, so let's move on. Well, let me show you the drink first. No one cares about the ice. So I'm gonna be drinking this now. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. This stuff is strong, so we're just gonna have like a little bit. But I always try to drink something different in every single one of these videos, and I haven't done this yet. And it's like the only thing I have in my house right now besides wine, and I've done that plenty of times. So this is what we're doing. So if you've never tried this, it's 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪. It's like a liqueur. I don't know why I said it like that, so fancy, but it's a liqueur basically. I don't even know how to explain it. It's an Italian thing. Wait, have I done this in a... Guys, have I drank this in a video before? I might have. I don't actually know. I don't think I did. I don't know. If I have, just pretend that I didn't. I don't know. I don't think I did. Anyway. Yeah, it's an Italian thing. If you have a very Italian household, you might have it. Even though I'm the only Italian in my house. But anyway. I have 2 little ice cubes in here that are kind of melted at this point. It's fine. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit. It's bothering me now. Have I drank this? And I think I've shown this in a video before, but I don't think I drank it in a Netflix video. I'm gonna have to go check because it's bothering me, but let's pour this first. Just gonna have a little bit. That's good for now. Yeah, enough of this stuff, and you feel it. enough of that and you'll be feeling good. But again, it's 1:30 in the afternoon, so, and I'm also home alone, so, anyway, cheers. Let's take a sip. The first sip always tastes a little bit like cough syrup, but then it gets better. Okay, it has been confirmed that I have not drank this in a Netflix video. I went to check just now because it was bothering me. So, we're good. Okay, so I have my list here. It's not as long as it was last time, I will admit, but I got some good things in here. I have a decent amount of movies. Most are like Netflix shows. Everything on this list, pretty much, minus 2 things, I have finished. Yeah, I usually don't write it on the list until I have finished it, so that I can actually like talk to you guys about it. But 2 of them I haven't finished. So the first one, and I took screenshots of everything this time so that I could read you the descriptions. I came prepared this time. So the first one is called Hillbilly Elegy, and I tend to watch a lot of the movies and shows that are like in the Netflix top 10, because that means that they're good, right? So I usually watch those. So that one definitely was. It's a movie on Netflix, and according to Netflix, it is a 2021 Oscar nominee. It was really good. So the description is: an urgent phone call pulls a Yale law student back to his Ohio hometown, where he reflects on 3 generations of family history and his own future. So it's one of those movies that kind of jumps back and forth in time between the present and the past, and it follows this young guy who is in Yale Law School, so he's like around my age, and he is, he's got his own life. He moved on from his small town. His mother's a drug addict and an alcoholic and abusive, but she was just lost. And he's like having a job interview, a really important one, and he gets a call that he needs to come home because his mother is really sick. And so he like balances between, going back into his old town where things aren't that good and he doesn't have good memories, and then also still trying to make his career work, and but at the end of the day, like, that's family, and so he has to kind of have that struggle. It's starring Amy Adams, who played his mom, who she killed it. You can tell she like really got into the character. You can tell she purposely put on weight for the character. She was so like believably like a drunk and like tortured in her own mind. Glenn Close was the grandmother, who she looked like unrecognizable, like a lot older, heavier. Just like literally I kind of had to like look a couple times to actually see whether that was Glenn Close or not. She was amazing, and she kind of like took the boy under her wing because she knew that he was struggling, so she like took care of him. And I don't want to tell you like what actually happens, but it's really good. It's like 2 hours long. It says an hour and 57 minutes, so that probably means like an hour 45 minutes. It was really good. It's really, really, really well done, and the acting, 10 out of 10. It was, for me, it was the acting that made it so good. So that's for me. I mean, that's my opinion. That's what I meant. That's for me. Okay, so that's the first one. The next one was a Netflix series that also came out in 2020, and it was in the top 10. And it's called Tiny Pretty Things. And the synopsis for the first episode is: ballerina Nevaeh arrives at Chicago's famed archer school to find cruel new rivals and the disturbing truth behind her surprise acceptance. So it is like your stereotypical like high school story, but not really. It's stereotypical in that it takes place in a school and there's like a mean girl and a love interest and whatever, for you because it's in the very first episode in the very beginning, so you're gonna see it. One of the students lost her life in a very tragic way, to the point where they're trying to decide whether she did it to herself or whether somebody else did it to her. And because her spot opened up, Nevaeh was able to come and study at this very prestigious dance school, which she doesn't know at first. And then the whole show is basically trying to figure out who took this girl's life or what actually happened. And so it's very murder mystery. It's got great dancing because all of the actors are like professional dancers, so it's really them dancing. And they're all like young, and they're on my age too. I found a couple of them have YouTube channels now, because everyone has a YouTube channel now, and they like vlogged like behind the scenes stuff on set and stuff, so I watched some of that. So that was cool. I enjoy that. I like when actors do that. Because that's more what I'm interested in usually, is like the behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, that's Tiny Pretty Things. I think it's like 10 episodes. Most Netflix series are about anywhere from 8 to 12 episodes. Yeah, so it's got good acting, actually. Because sometimes, like, if the actor is like a professional dancer that becomes an actor, sometimes the acting isn't, that great. It's kind of rare to find an actor who is really good, but also like a professional dancer, so the acting was really good. I enjoyed it. The music is good. I love dancing. I wasn't a ballerina, but I was a dancer for a long time. And so I love that too. So yeah, so that is Tiny Pretty Things. A lot of these shows are Netflix originals, and they all only have one season, which I hate, but I know why Netflix is doing it, because it's cheaper to just get a whole bunch of new actors and start a new show, rather than keep making more and more seasons and have to keep paying the actors more and more and more every season. I know what they're doing. But the next one has officially, it's come out that season 2 is coming. So I'm very excited for that. This was another top 10, I believe, and it's called Fate, the Winx Saga. This show is based on a book series, I believe, but don't quote me. It literally says it's official, another season is coming. You can't read it, but that's what it says there. This came out in 2021, so I watched this not that long ago. And so it follows this girl. It's very like sci-fi, like magical, not realistic at all. This girl named Bloom, who is half fairy, and she goes to this fairy school that's like in another dimension of the world. I don't want to like tell you too much to kind of like give away the plot, but she basically like goes to this school, and her parents don't even know that she's a fairy, and so they have powers and all that. And it was one of those shows that I watched that I'm sorry if you hear that beeping of a truck somewhere nearby. Don't know where that's coming from, but hopefully it stops. There we go. Okay. It was one of those shows where immediately, like less than halfway into the first episode, I was like, ooh, I like this show. Like, this is right up my alley. I like sci-fi things like that sometimes. And, her school that she goes to has a lot of, background, sneaky stuff happening, things that the administration of the school aren't telling the students, and things like that. And let me see what the actress's name is, because I'd never seen her before. Abigail Cohen. She's pretty, like so pretty, this girl. Like beautiful red hair. I was kind of like, dang. But yeah, I really, really like the show. There's not much I can tell you without telling you like the important parts of it. But it's one of those shows dangerous like any school setting does. That's just a given. But it was really good. I genuinely really liked it, and I will for sure watch the second season whenever it comes out. I don't know. Okay. The next one is a movie, and it is on Amazon Prime. And this movie, I can't even stress, maybe it's just me, I thought this movie was so good. I watched it twice because I made my family watch it the second time with me, because I was like, you have to watch this movie, I want to watch it again. That's how you know I like a movie, when I watch it twice. It's called The Lie, and it's starring Joey King. She was in the Gypsy Blanchard show on Hulu. She was in all the Kissing Booth movies. She's been in a lot of things. She's been acting since she was a very little girl. She's a very good actress. So it is called The Lie, and I will explain it to you like this. At the beginning of the movie, she's with her best friend, and her best friend dies, and she admits to her dad right away that she did it. And so the whole show is her parents trying to cover up the fact that she was involved in her friend's death, because they don't want her life to be ruined. So they are doing everything in their power to cover it up, essentially, any way that they can. That's all I will say. The ending is so good. It's so good. Like, I literally sat there. I watched it by myself the first time. I sat there like this. Not many movies do that to me. Just watch it. That's all I'm gonna say. Just watch it. I would say out of everything on this list, as far as movies go, that one is definitely my favorite movie out of this list. And you know what? I would even watch it a third time. That's how you know. So, I feel like my family didn't enjoy it as much as I did. But they were into it. I know they were. So that is The Lie. The next one is another movie on Netflix, and it's called Below Zero. And I think I took a screenshot of that, yeah. So the synopsis says, when a prisoner transfer van is attacked, the cop in charge must fight those inside and outside while dealing with a silent foe, the icy temperatures. Now, this movie is not in English. I watched it dubbed. I believe it is, it doesn't say it here. I believe it takes place in Mexico, though. So it's in Spanish, basically, is what I'm saying. But I watched it with English subtitles and English dubbed, which I used to hate, but now I don't really mind as much. And this movie was so good. The main character, the actor's name is Javier Gutierrez. He was really good, and essentially he, like it says, is transporting a van of, I want to say, six to eight prisoners. I watched it a while ago. I think it was like 6 to 8 prisoners. And they're ambushed, and there's a reason why they're ambushed. It's one of the prisoners is the target of this ambush, one of the prisoners in the van. But that prisoner won't tell everyone why. So they basically make make the van undrivable, and so they're stranded, essentially, and it's below zero, and it's freezing, and they have to survive, essentially. It's very hard to make a movie so action-packed when you're literally in like the same setting, like you're just in a van for most of the movie, and they did that, which to me is very impressive. I was captivated the whole time, and then at the end of the movie you have another one of those moments, or at least I did, where I was like, dang, because you find out the reason why that prisoner was targeted, and way that the officer in charge handles it is just, it's good. So I really enjoyed that one. It's action-packed. It's good. It's good. It's not like stereotypical at all. Like, you really don't know where the movie's going until the end. So I really enjoyed that one. The next one is a Netflix show. It's from 2019, and I had never seen it before. It came up, I don't know if it was in my recommended or if it was just in like TV shows. I don't know. But there's 2 seasons of it, which I loved. It's called Zac and Mia, and the girl in it was the blonde girl in 13 Reasons, if you watched that. So like, I saw her, I recognized her, and I was like, oh, I've never seen her in anything else, so like, let me watch it. You will go through it really quickly. It's 2 seasons, but every episode is like 20 minutes, 23 minutes, so you're gonna fly through it if you watch it. The synopsis of the first episode says 2 teenagers with cancer share a connection with each other despite their differences and extraordinary circumstances. And this is also based on a book by A.J. Bett. I'd never heard of the book, but I was like, alright, let me give it a chance, and I got hooked very easily. I don't want to say it's lighthearted because it takes place in a hospital, and it is about cancer and 2 young adults that have cancer, or they're teenagers. But it's a nice little romance kind of thing. They're in rooms next to each other. He's been sick for a long time, and she just got sick, and she's kind of still in denial, and he kind of helps her through it. And you know, it gets harder because one gets better and then one doesn't, and then it switches, and then, you know, but I'm glad that there was a second season. I'm not gonna tell you what happens in the second season because then that'll ruin the first season, but it's good. It's called Zac and Mia. His name is Kyan Lawley, and her name is Ann Winters. She's the one that was in 13 Reasons. Pretty sure it was 13 Reasons. It's really good. Like I said, I went through it probably 3 days. Yeah, which is kind of embarrassing to say out loud. But like, I binged it. You know, I had a day where I was home and I just binged it. I stayed up late watching it and I finished it. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It made me smile a lot, which is good. You need that every once in a while. So again, that is Zac and Mia. Another Netflix movie. Next up, I watched it the day it came out because I love these movies. They're cheesy, but they're cute and they make me smile. To All the Boys. The first one was To All the Boys I Loved Before. No. Yeah. And then the second one was To All the Boys I Still Love You. And then the third one I don't remember, but it's To All the Boys 3. We're just gonna say it. It's starring Lana Condor, who I freaking love. She's so cute. And Noah Centineo, who is not difficult to look at. Love him too. So yeah, this was the last and final movie in the series, and they're just so cute, and you can tell that they're really good friends in real life, and so their chemistry on screen is like 12 out of 10. It just makes you smile. It just, I don't know, I love it. It's a continuation of the second movie, obviously, and it's them at the end of their senior year, and they're taking a senior trip, and they're deciding what their next plans are gonna be, because you know that struggle where you're dating someone at the end of high school, and then you move away for college, and it's hard, and so they're going through that. It's really funny. I love when it's like people my age, or I think he might even be older than me, that are playing high school students. But I don't know, I love it. And it had a nice ending. It wasn't like a cheesy cliche ending, but it was like a satisfying ending. Like I felt like I got closure at the end, which is very important. So yeah, that's To All the Boys 3. I wish they would keep going, but they won't. It's okay. It's based off books, so but yeah, that is To All the Boys 3. this. This was on Amazon, and it's called The Map of Tiny Perfect Things, and I knew it existed because I was watching YouTube and it came up as like an ad that it was out on Amazon Prime now, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of cute. Did I say it was a show? I don't know if I said it or not, but it's a movie, and synopsis is very short. It says 2 teens who live the same day repeatedly. Not even proper English. It's supposed to say 2 teens live the same day repeatedly, enabling them to create the titular map. I don't even know what that means. Basically, it's like Groundhog Day, kind of, sort of, where they live the same day over and over again until they can figure out what their problem is, and then once they solve that problem, then they can move on in life. But it's only the 2 of them, and they eventually find each other and realize that they are both living the same day over and over again. And so they eventually decide to like make the best of it, so they become very close. Of course, there's a little, romance storyline in there, but they get really close and they decide to do all of their favorite things, like things that are in their eyes perfect, and they make a map of it, like of their town and where all the different things, the different perfect things are. Hence the name of the movie. And then that map eventually helps them figure out what they have to do to not live the same life over and over again. But then it becomes hard because one wants to keep living the same day over and over again for a reason that you'll find out, and then the other one doesn't. So, there's a little bit of a struggle there. But that was another cute one. It was good. I feel like that one was based off of a book too, but I'm not sure. Okay, the next one is a movie on Hulu, and it's called Tentacles. It came out in 2021. It's a new one, and it stars an actor that I really like. His name's Casey Deirdrick, and he is in this show In the Dark that I really love. I've spoken about it in Netflix videos before. I really love that show, and so I became a fan of him through that show. And so I follow him on Instagram, and he was, of course, promoting my new movie. I was like, alright, I'm gonna watch it. It was weird. It wasn't bad. Like, I enjoyed it. I would recommend it to somebody, but it was weird. It was very dark, very sci-fi, very unrealistic. Dare I say campy? I don't know, I never really fully understood the definition of that word, but anyway, I feel like it's fitting. Essentially, he meets this girl. She seems to kind of come out of nowhere, and they very quickly jump into a relationship, a very committed relationship, but then he realizes he doesn't really know much about her, and he starts to see certain things she does that get progressively more weird as time goes on. And she's holding a big secret. I'm not going to tell you anything about what that secret is, but she's holding a big secret, and at the end it's actually it's not like scary, but it's very I jumped a few times. It's very suspenseful. Yeah, it's very dark. You could tell it's purposely very dark. The footage has been edited to be a little bit darker. I don't know if I just noticed that because I'm like into that stuff or what, but like I did notice that, like, even the outdoor scenes during the day were very like subdued and made darker. So yeah, if you're into that like sci-fi, like weird stuff, you'd probably like it. I enjoyed it. So that is Tentacles, and his name, if you're curious, again, is Casey Deirdrick. The next one is a show on Amazon Prime. I don't think it's like that new, but I had never seen it before. I didn't know it existed. It's called My Friend Dahmer. So you true crime buffs, if you're like me, you will enjoy this. This is based off of Jeffrey Dahmer, who I am going to do a video about him, but I'm going to do it on my non-ASMR channel. So I haven't decided yet, I'm either gonna do a mukbang slash true crime video in my normal voice, or I'm gonna do a get ready with me slash true crime video in my normal voice on my second channel, and I'm gonna do it about Jeffrey Dahmer. I just have to actually do the research and like write out my notes, and then I can film it. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. But it is all about Jeffrey Dahmer in his younger years, so growing up in his family, him being in school, his relationship with his peers, the friends that he had, and how he came to attain those friends. And then, you know, as time passes, his friends start to kind of see that he does some things that are a little weird. And then the movie leaves you at the point in his life where all the like true crime stuff takes place. So that movie, it was actually useful for me, and that was the reason I watched that, or the reason I know I'm going to make a video about him, is because of that movie. I just watched it just for fun, and then after I finished it, I was like, oh yeah, we're doing a Jeffrey Dahmer video. And he's been requested a few times, so it like works out perfectly. So all my true crime fans, go watch it. You'll like it. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not actually really drinking a lot. Okay, I have 4 more. The next one's a funny one. It's on Amazon Prime as well. I grew up watching Tyler Perry's Madea movies. I still watch them when a new one comes out. They're so funny to me. I don't know. And I'm a Tyler Perry fan, like even his non-Madea movies I love. My favorite Tyler Perry movie is Why Did I Get Married? And the second one is pretty good too, but the first Why Did I Get Married is my favorite one. And so this one is called Tyler Perry's Madea Family Funeral. It like just came out. That's a lie. It says 2019, but why did I think it just came out? I had never heard of it until like a month ago. Okay, I'm wrong. 2019. It says Madea and the crew's joyous family reunion becomes a hilarious nightmare as she finds herself unexpectedly planning a funeral that might unveil unsavory family secrets. So yeah, his movies, there are a lot of scandals in them. My leg is so asleep. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. You saw my tie-dye pants that don't match my shirt at all. Anyway, so if you don't know, Tyler Perry plays Madea. He puts on like a suit with like breasts and everything, the wig, the makeup, and he plays Madea. He also plays Madea's brother Joe, so he puts on another costume for that. And then he plays himself. I forget what his character's name is, but Madea is like his aunt, and he like dresses as himself. So he plays a bunch of different characters in his movies, and it's so funny and it's so well done. And this movie, yeah, it has a lot of scandals, who's cheating on who, and you know, things like that. And some people know about the secrets and some don't. It's like a common theme in his movies, but they're just so funny. Like I sit there and I laugh, and I know that it's stupid, but I'm a big Tyler Perry fan, and even just him as a person, like he's very kind, he's a genius, he's just very nice. I really like Tyler Perry. A couple years ago, I think like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, Tyler Perry put on a Easter special, and it was live on TV, and it was called, I think it was called The Cross or something. no, I'm sorry, it was called The Passion. That's what it was. And it was a live musical of the story of Easter, but made into like a more modern storyline with like modern songs that we all know. It was so good. It's on YouTube. The whole thing's on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's called The Passion. I loved it. I will never forget that. That made me cry. It was really good. So anything Tyler Perry I'm usually down for. So if you like his movies, I would go watch that one. The next one, this one was a really good one. It's on Netflix. It's called Ginny and Georgia. This one was also a top 10 one. It was trending for a while, like up until the other day it was trending. And it's funny, my coworker came into work the other day, I think on Friday, so a couple days ago. She came in and she like relieves me, so as soon as she comes in I leave, and her and I are cool, like we're friends. And she told me, she was like, I have a show for you to watch, because we always talk about Netflix shows. She was like, you have to watch Ginny and Georgia. And I was like, girl, I finished it. So she has to finish it now, so we couldn't talk about it. But it's about a high school girl named Ginny and her mom Georgia. Her mom had her when she was 15, so her mom is very young. And they moved to a new town. And her mom has a lot of secrets, which when I started watching the show, I thought it was just going to be a lighthearted, like, high school show. You know, she starts a new school, has to make new friends, all these things. It was not like that. I mean, it was to an extent, but at the end of the first episode, they leave you with like a cliffhanger that the mom, Georgia, may not be what you think she is. And I was like, what? It's good. It is good. I'm obsessed with the woman who plays Georgia. I don't have her name pulled up. She's so beautiful. And it's funny that the two actors that play mother and daughter, they're only a few years apart, but in the show they're like 15 years apart. I really liked it, and I really hope there's a second season, because I will for sure be all up on that. I don't think it's been announced, so it hasn't been like, they haven't started filming or anything, but it like just came out, so that would be a little soon if they already were. But I really enjoyed it. I really did. That was another one that I binged. I finished it pretty quickly, and again, it's only one season. Okay, two more, and these are the two that I have yet to finish. The next one is Firefly Lane, and I'm actually going to pull it up because I want to tell you what the actress's name is, because she's like, I know her, I just can't think of it right now. Katherine Heigl, that's her name. And the other main character is Sarah Clark. And it essentially follows two best friends, and again, it's one of those shows that bounces back and forth in between, you know, what they were going through during childhood and what they're going through, you know, in adult life now. Or one of them has a child in high school, so, you know, they're like 40, let's say. It just follows this beautiful friendship between these two girls. The names are Tully and Kate, and it's a friendship where they are more like family than friends, and there's nothing that they wouldn't do for each other. And, you know, when one of them goes through something, the other one is the one that is there for her and gets her through it. And it just, it's so good. It's emotional at times, but it is something where, like, everyone should have a best friend like that. You know, like, I know that I do, and I'm so thankful for it. And so, like, whenever I see a show like this, I always joke to my friends, like, that's gonna be us when we're 40. Like, everyone needs that. Like, someone that knows everything about you and loves you regardless. And even when you fight, you know, you take some time apart, come back together, and it's like nothing ever happened. So I have one more episode of this. There's 10 episodes, one season. It's new, it's 2021, so I hope there's a second season. And I have the last episode. And this show it's kind of like Ginny and Georgia, where at the end of but it's every single episode, it leaves you with a big cliffhanger that you're not expecting, and then the next episode you learn more about it. So that's how they like hook you. Yeah, I really hope there's a second season of that. I really, really like that show. And Katherine Heigl is amazing. Oh, my phone is freaking out right now. Okay, so the second show I'm currently watching, and it's airing like on TV. It's an NBC show. It comes on every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern time after The Voice, and I watch The Voice with my mom. That's like our show. If it's a Monday and I'm home, which I usually am on Mondays, because Mondays are like my Fridays, so like I use the night to like wind down after a long work week. So I usually am home at 10 o'clock on Mondays, or 8 on Mondays, and we watch The Voice together, and then 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪 comes on afterwards, and my stepdad watches it with us as well because he really likes it. It's starring Jonathan Tucker. He's the only actor that I know. And then the girl's name is Ryan Steele. I've never seen her in anything else, but she's good. So I will read you the synopsis. It's long. When mysterious wreckage starts falling from the sky, a secretive international agency is tasked with figuring out what it is, where it came from, and most importantly, what it can do. British agent Finola Jones and American agent Brian Beneventi are partners who have very different styles. However, they have no choice but to trust each other as they track down the hundreds of pieces of debris scattered across the Western Hemisphere. Each fragment has an unpredictable, powerful effect on the everyday people who find it, changing their lives in unexpected and often dangerous ways. So that's essentially it. So I think we're like 4 or 5 episodes in at this point. I haven't decided if I like it or not. Did I even say the name of it? It's called 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪. I don't know if I did, on NBC. And yeah, I haven't decided if I like it or not. I can see on IMDb it has 6.4 stars out of 10. Yeah, it's kind of confusing, number one. I like it, I'm watching it, I'm following it, sorta, but it's confusing, and there are certain elements of the show where I'm like, they didn't have to do that way. I don't know. But I'm giving it a chance because I like Jonathan Tucker. He was in the show Kingdom with Nick Jonas that y'all know I watched. That came out like 6 years ago, maybe. It was a long time ago. But I'm a fan of him from that show, and so that's why I started watching it for the most part. So I'm gonna keep watching it. I don't know how many episodes there are going to be. I don't know if it's gonna get picked up for a second season. I guess it's too early to tell, but I'm giving it a chance. So if any of you are watching it, let me know your thoughts. We can stick with it together and see if it gets better. But I'm really trying to give it a chance. My mom doesn't like it. She watches it and she looks at Jonathan Tucker, the main character, and she's like, I don't know why I don't like him, like the actor. I don't know. She's like, I don't trust him. I don't know, she doesn't really like it. I think she just watches it because we watch it. But I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm gonna give it a try. Just in time, the last. That is it, folks. So, looks like my camera is going to die soon. So, perfect timing. Those are all of the shows and movies that I had to share with you. If you watch any of the same ones, let me know, and leave any recommendations for me down below, because now after I finish Firefly Lane, I need something else to watch. So leave your recommendations for me down below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.